going to see if we can find the 10 Commandments in the Bible besides Exodus. Of course, there's the Exodus chapter 20. So let's see if we can find the 10 Commandments in other places. Many people explain away the keeping of the Sunday worship, saying, we don't have to believe in the Old Testament. That was for the Jews. We are only New Testament believers. Well, is that true? But if the New Testament is a fulfilling of the prophecies of the Old Testament, to throw out the first witness is destroying the very foundation of the new. For instance, how do I prove to another person that Jesus was indeed the promised seed of the Messiah sent from God? If I throw away all the proof texts of the Old Testament that show how perfectly he fulfilled prophecy, I cannot prove that he was anything more than just a teacher that did a lot of cool tricks. So the question today is, can we prove the 10 Commandments from the New Testament? Well, we have to have more than one witness of Exodus. Let's go to Deuteronomy 19, verse 15, and it says, one witness shall not rise up against a man for any iniquity, or of any sin, in any sin that he sinneth. At the mouth of 2 witnesses, or at the mouth of 3 witnesses, shall a matter be established. Now, we just read that in Deuteronomy. Can we prove this from the New Testament as well? Let's go to Matthew chapter 18 and verse 16, and it says, but if he will not hear thee, then take with thee 1 or 2 more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established. So, let's go to the first commandment. Exodus chapter 20, what does it say? Verse 3, thou shalt have no other gods before me. Okay, that's in Exodus. Now let's go to Deuteronomy 5, verse 7. This is first commandment. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Same thing. Matthew chapter 4 and verse 10. Then saith Jesus unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve. Second commandment. Exodus chapter 20 verse 4. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me. Now, Deuteronomy. Thou shalt not make thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me. Now, New Testament. 1 John 5:21. Little children, keep yourself from idols. So, let's go to the 3rd commandment. Exodus, verse 7. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh the name in vain. Deuteronomy 5:11. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, For the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Pretty much the same as Exodus. Now let's go to the New Testament. 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 1. Let as many servants as are under the yoke concerning their own masters worthy of all honor, that the name of God and his doctrine be not blasphemed. So, there again, we have it, in the New Testament and the Old. And remember, we just read the verse, in 2 or 3 witnesses. What do we have here? We have Exodus, Deuteronomy, and the New Testament. Now the fourth and great commandment. This is the one that people say that they go with the New Testament, and so that it's Sunday is the day of worship. Can we prove that the seventh-day Sabbath is the Sabbath from the New Testament? Well, first, let's read it out of the Old Testament. Exodus chapter 20, verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day, and hallowed it. Deuteronomy. Keep the Sabbath day to sanctify it, as the Lord thy God hath commanded thee. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thine ox, nor thine ass, nor any of thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates, that thy manservant and thy maidservant may rest as well as thou. And remember that thou wast a servant in the land of Egypt, and that the Lord thy God brought thee thence through a mighty hand, and by a stretched out arm. Therefore the Lord thy God command thee to keep the Sabbath day. Okay, here we go. Fourth commandment of the New Testament. A lot of different verses on this one. First one we're going to is Hebrews chapter 4, verse 4. For he spake in a certain place of the seventh day on this wise, and God did rest the seventh day from all his work. Now let's go Hebrews 4, verse 9. There remaineth therefore a rest to the people of God. For he that is entered into his rest, he also hath ceased from his own works, as God did from his. Let us labor therefore to enter into the rest, lest any man fall after some example of the unbelief. Luke chapter 23, verse 54. And that day was the preparation, and the Sabbath drew on. And they returned and prepared spices and ointments, and rested the Sabbath day according to the commandment. Luke chapter 4, verse 16. And he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up. And as his custom was, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day, and stood up for to read. Mark chapter 2, verse 27 and 28. And he said unto them, the Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath. Therefore the Son of Man is Lord also of the Sabbath. And the last one here, Revelation 1:10. I was in the Spirit on the Lord's day, and heard behind me a great voice as of a trumpet. Let's move on to the fifth commandment. Exodus. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Deuteronomy, honor thy father and thy mother, as the Lord thy God hath commanded thee, that thy days may be prolonged, and that it may go well with thee in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. New Testament. Let's go to Matthew 19, verse 19. You can also find this in Ephesians 6, verse 2. Honor thy father and thy mother. The sixth commandment. Exodus, thou shalt not kill. Deuteronomy, thou shalt not kill. Romans 13:19 and Matthew 19:18, thou shalt not kill. Seventh commandment. Exodus, thou shalt not commit adultery. Deuteronomy, neither shalt thou commit adultery. Romans 13:9 and Matthew 19:18 says, thou shalt not commit adultery. The eighth commandment. Exodus 20, verse 15, thou shalt not steal. Deuteronomy, neither shalt thou steal. And New Testament, Romans 13:9 and Matthew 19:18, thou shalt not steal. The ninth commandment, Exodus 20, verse 16, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Deuteronomy, neither shalt thou bear false witness against thy neighbor. Romans 13:9 and Matthew 19:18, thou shalt not bear false witness. 10th commandment, Exodus 20, verse 17, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. Deuteronomy 5:21. Neither shalt thou desire thy neighbor's wife, neither shalt thou covet thy neighbor's house, his field, or his manservant, or his maidservant, his ox, or his ass, or anything that is thy neighbor's. New Testament. Romans chapter 7, verse 7, and Romans 13:9. You can find it in both places. Thou shalt not covet. Yes, God's law stands today. It stood in the Old Testament, and it stood in the New Testament, and it still stands today. And some of us think, well, it's, God gave us these commandments. They're really, really hard to keep, But how many commandments, say here in the United States, how many commandments are there? Or laws, we would call them. Well, you get in the car to go down to the grocery store. First thing you do when you pull up to the road, pull out onto the road, you look both ways. You've just obeyed a law. Before you got there, you put on your seatbelt. You just obeyed a law. There are lots of laws, speed limits, all kinds of things. And even some of man's law agree with the Bible laws. So we finish this up. Let's go to Psalms 119, verse 89. Forever, O Lord, thy word is settled in heaven. And John 14:15 says, if ye love me, keep my commandments. What do? He says, if ye love me, keep my commandments. John 15:10. If ye keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandments, and abide in his love. John 14:23 says, Jesus answered and said unto him, if a man love me, he will keep my words, and my Father will love him, and we will come unto him and make our abode with him. John 10, verse 30 says, I and my Father are one. And Matthew chapter 11, 28 to 30. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So yes, we can prove all 10 commandments from the Old as well as the New Testament. Will you keep them today?